everybody, it's time for client Gustov, Blaha's client, dude. I'm gonna do a reaction video to Blaha's client, gym, lifting, recruiting, fitness, gear slave, Blaha himself, his client Gustov. So Blaha says, Team Blaha client Gustov, intermediate natural physique training part 9. Yeah, okay. He hasn't even progressed. Man, Gustov and Matthias. Matthias is already on week 11. I see 0 gains. This guy already week 9, 0 gains. All right, let's react to this video.
Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here. Once again, it is time for my client Gustov's vlog. If you guys would please remember to click like down below, follow or subscribe if you aren't yet, and please drop me a comment. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, for those who have been following this series,
I hate when people film short range. Man, I use wide angle, man. This is stupid, but whatever.
And I really want to put some of his physique.
Okay, so he's on a decline here, isn't he? So he started off with a decline bench press. Okay. All right. Yeah, nothing special. He's full range of motion. Okay. He's in his socks.
Update pictures up soon. He still wants to wait to put some up. He's looking great. So Gustov is intermediate lifter.
I don't see him looking great. His arms look skinny. They look like a guy that doesn't lift, but okay.
You know, he's only been working out a couple years here.
Why? He's been working out for a couple years here? But with you, it's been 9 weeks, right, Blaha? Why did he hire you? Because he couldn't make it in a couple of years? Holy shit.
Youngest lifter I have currently at 20 years old.
20 years old, but you said he's been lifting for a couple of years. He's 20 years old. Man, his best years are gone. Man, when you're a teenager, you could grow some real muscle, man. Jesus. That's unfortunate. Well, I think he has 5 more years left to 25, right? Your body's still kind of growing to 24, 25. Yeah, but the cutoff for the fibers are at 15. But yeah, I guess, you know, he can still build something if he's able to bring back this damage. But I don't think, no, he's not going to damage because Blaha doesn't teach that. Blaha teaches people to be good concentric lifters.
He is not interested in powerlifting or strength sports. He simply wants a really good physique.
Yeah, he wants a really good physique. Well, if he wants a really good physique, a steroidal physique, then he's going to have to take steroids. Because lifting weights doesn't build a really good physique. But if you lower your body fat, you'll have a nice looking physique. Yeah. If he loses a lot of body fat. And that's just torturous for some people.
He wants to stay natural, wants to be a drug-free guy. So I have him on
I love this. He wants to stay natural, a drug-free guy. Okay. But he wants to create a steroidal-like physique. Okay.
on a 4-day split, doing around 9 sets of body part, realistically. When you add everything up, we're in maybe 6 to 9 sets.
Okay, so he's doing incline bench press now. Okay.
Per week, per body part, keeping in mind there's some splash over. So people say, what about the quads? Well, we have conventional deadlifts in there, which work the quads. You know, along conventional deadlifts in there, which work the quads. You know, along with the actual squats and quad work. So yeah, we're averaging, when you look at everything, around 9 sets a week. Some of them get more through a different splash over. So we have a chest and tricep day to start. And I'm going to increase his tricep volume a little bit, I think, coming forward. Chest has been his weakest body part. Okay, his pecs have been his weakest body part. So I'd like to start the week there. I want to hit him from there.
His chest is the weaker body part. His pecs are the weaker body part. So why is he going back and doing? He just did a decline bench, right? Now he's doing dumbbell decline. Okay.
Angle. So we do a flat bench. We do an incline barbell bench, and we do decline dumbbell presses. And
I didn't see him do a flat bench, man. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay, whatever.
We followed it up with tricep press downs. Now, in his case, because we have overhead pressing and all of that stuff on the other day, and we have all this pressing, I only do 1 tricep exercise for now. We do need to work that up over time, keeping in mind he's an intermediate. He is an intermediate. I don't have to.
He's an intermediate? He's 20 years old. He's an adult. What are you talking about?
Do all that far, and in fact his triceps are really not a weak link.
Man, when you're young, you're at your strongest peak when you're young. 20 years old. Fuck, it was a bull. 20, 19, 20, whatever, 18. Ah, these are concentric. These tricep pull downs are full concentric, bro. He's just squeezing the muscles. Oh man.
So we end up doing, just 3
Here we
sets of
go.
tricep press downs to failure at the end of his
Squeeze. That a boy. Squeeze. Now bring it back. Bring it back up to halfway.
All right, and it works pretty straightforward for him.
Here we go. That's a squeeze.
Everything is just basic progressive overload.
Squeeze that muscle. Yes, squeeze it. Get 0 damage, 0 gains in there. Yes.
I don't use a lot of exercise variation. As long as we're hitting every muscle from a couple different angles.
Wow, finally he's doing these. These are, pull-ups. They force you. They force you to do those eccentrics, dude. Yep.
Full range of motion quality sets. With good form, we're good.
I think he's wearing a belt. I think he has a weight on there. I think like 10 pounds or something on it, right? 10-pound weight on there, that belt, that weight belt.
And everything's been coming along. And yes, I only have one.
He has a plate.
Like day for him, because realistically, he's not chasing to look, like a monstrous bodybuilder. He just wants good, big performance.
He's not chasing to be like a monstrous bodybuilder? What are you talking about? What do you mean monstrous bodybuilder? He's not going to become monstrous. He's adapted to these exercises. He doesn't even know what monstrous is. Doesn't even know how to build muscles. Doesn't even know what he's building. He's not building anything. He's just exhausting himself here.
Legs. So it's like, 1 week of squat.
I guarantee you 9 weeks already and he hasn't progressed. He's not going to progress any further. Just like client Michelle and Christine and all the rest of these clients Blaha had before previously. None of them progressed. They're all gone. They left him. They abandoned Blaha and all those old channels, the ice cream, ice cream method or exercise by Blaha 5x5, Blaha 5x5. All those 5x5 guys, their channels, if you go there, they're not doing any more 5x5. They abandoned that years ago. You want to know why? Because it didn't work, bro. The 5x5 never built muscles because they all did 5x5 concentrically. Hell, they didn't even get a 5x10. You know what I mean? They were adapted and they lived concentrically, so that made it even worse. Not only were they adapted to the eccentric, so they never built any myofibrillars, but they lifted concentrically, thinking 5x5 was going to build them a muscle. Boy, it was even worse. It got worse than that. You understand me? That's how stupid these people are. They're like, well, I want to build muscle. So you're not only are you preventing yourself from building muscle eccentrically, but you're lifting concentrically and you're adapted to the eccentric and you're lifting concentrically. Come on. And you think you're going to build muscles, bro. Give me a break.
Deadlifting and, a few machines to bridge all the gaps and fill everything in perfectly fine there. He'll get big legs. Trust me, he'll get big legs as one of my lifters no matter how we break it down.
Yes, he's going to get big legs. Yes, no matter how we break it down. He's not going to get any big legs. He's not going to get anything.
I have him squatting and leg pressing, Same stuff I do to...
Blaha has him squatting and leg pressing. Well, I bet you he's going to row with his arms. Watch this. He's going to row that with his arms, bro.
Oh
my God. How... You see... It's kind of like, man, how did I know that? How did I know that? He's going to use his arms to row that shit.
More variation for my 500 plus pounds.
It's a back exercise. It's not an arm exercise. It's a back exercise. Christ.
Squatters. Same idea, squat variations, leg presses.
Look. There's nothing wrong if you're just lifting because you just for the sake of lifting, you can row with your arms. It means but for you just don't give a shit. But if you truly want to cause damage to build muscles, because that's what he said in this video, right? He wants to build muscle. Well, then you can't just play with the weight anymore and row with your arms, okay, fooling around. You really have to take it seriously, and it's a back exercise, really. You're supposed to be using your back. Your arms are just, how should I put it? They're like meat hooks. They're just hooks holding on to that thing. And now your back is supposed to pull, you're supposed to pull your shoulder blades back, get it? And then let it go forward with the weight slightly. Pull backward, like curve your back, bring your back forward. Holy shit, this thing turned off. Sorry about that. The thing turned off. So you should curve your back forward, and then as you're bringing the weight back, use your back to bring the weight to pull backward. So your head is forward, your back is forward. Now pull it back slowly as it curves backward. Your shoulder blades, they curl inward. Get it? And then let the weight pull the shoulder blades apart and then go forward so it can stretch your back. See? Use your back. It's a back exercise. Yeah.
Same idea, squat variations, leg presses. That's how we build those muscles.
I hope that helped. I don't know. Maybe it did.
For his pull day, we do weighted pull-ups. And we're in a good spot. He can crank out,
We did weighted whatever. We did weighted pull-ups. Wow.
10 pull-ups with weight added already. So again, for someone starting out pretty...
He did 10 pull-ups with weighted belt already. He didn't do enough to get any damage there. One set's not going to do anything.
Young, we're in a good spot there.
See, Blaha doesn't even know how to train this guy properly. See how I explain it? Keep your arms extended. Now, bend your body forward. Now, as you're holding on to the bar, bend your back backward as your shoulder blades squeeze inward. Now, release the weight with control. Let your shoulder blades go apart, pull apart. Now and then move forward. Let your back stretch. Let the weight stretch your back. Get it? It's a back exercise. Yeah.
So again, I had him pull barbell.
If you can't do it with proper form, then lower the weight and do it with proper form, and do it for multiple sets until you get enough damage. When you get enough damage, then you'll know you're damaged, and then you'll build some more myofibulars. And when you get bigger, you'll get stronger. And when you move that weight again with your back, it should be stronger with every bout, okay? There you go.
Rose out because he kept puking when doing the higher rep barbell rows. He went and puked. He's like,
and then you can go heavier. But if you keep doing this, rowing this thing to your chest with your arms, this is not an arm exercise, dude. Get it? Blaha is failing to tell you that. It's not an arm exercise. That's why you're failing.
Chilling my gains, coach. So we took him out and I'm letting him do some more machine stuff here. And again, I'm fine with that.
It's funny. I had to train client Michelle, all his clients in my old videos. I had to train these people. God, Christ. Is that my job?
Chest supported lat stuff myself these days, even though I love the bar.
Look at it. It's an arm exercise again. Christ, look at this. The problem with the back exercises, everything these fucking people do, they row with their arms. They never use their back. And then they wonder why they don't feel anything in their back or their back isn't growing. The only thing they luck with is the pull-ups. If it wasn't for the pull-ups on the bar, their back would be non-existent. Christ.
Personally do the same thing because I do a lot of deadlifting in the mornings. I mean, I come in and do 500 pound good morning. I don't want to put a bunch of other stress in my low back other than 6 to 8 sets of reverse hypers every week. So I get it. It's no point in doing all that for him. We have other stuff in here. But over time, I am going to want to do more stuff for his low back, some back extensions and things. So after the cable.
There is this perception in the world of cycling that you're going to walk into a bike store and
for his low back, some back extensions and things. So
I'm going to do more stuff for his low back and extensions and things by doing what? Rowing his arms?
After the cable rows, we do incline dumbbell rows. You guys know I'm a fan of that for upper back.
Why is he doing his arms now? He just did his arms, rowing his back. Was doing arm work. This is going to shrink his arms now. He's going to overtrain him. That's why lots of people, the problem with them, you notice when you look at them in gyms, you try to wonder why everything else looks kind of developed or something there is going on, but their arms are so small because they shrunk. And especially these lifts that he's doing, it's mostly concentric. He's adapted to the eccentric, so now it's all concentric, and then he's shortening his sarcomere in series. There's a loss there, bro. Get it? There's a loss, man. And overtraining your arms, shrink them even more. You lose more sarcomeres.
Because I want to thicken his back up. His back is wide. Like now that I've got update pictures, he's got wide.
In other words, you're losing muscle mass. Get it?
Lats now, relative to his overall structure. He's a taller guy, by the way. but his back does lack some thickness. So I want to hit these different angles. I'm going to put more deadlift volume in and things. So afterwards, we do a strict barbell curl. So after the three types of back movements, we're hitting 3 different angles, just like with the chest.
Strict
3 different
barbell curl.
Angles of inclination, pretty much.
Well, I never do these, man. They're dangerous. I would never do them. Doesn't matter how much of an advanced lifter I am. I would never do these. This is stupid, man. It's dangerous. Don't do these.
We do barbell curls.
It's not worth it. One wrong move and you're done. That's it.
Then he does preacher curls. Right, we do a nice strip.
It's just a waste of time, and he's adapted anyways to his exercise. He's not going to get anything here other than maybe he might injure himself, and that's not even worth it because you're adapted.
Preacher curl. So, again, another exercise I like a lot. I think it's a good combination.
Think about it. Why do they call it preacher curl? You're preaching, get it? You're on one of those things, and you're preaching in the church. You put your elbows up on this table and you start preaching. Yeah, okay, whatever. That's just shit. Anyways, let's see what else he has here.
Brachialis, letting him use that.
Okay, I like this. OHP, strict form. He's not bouncing it.
Slightly closer angle on a...
Well, that's pretty good. He is not bouncing that way. He is actually doing it. He's doing it on his own volition without like bouncing it off his chest or anything like that. So that's strict form right there. Strict form.
On an easy bar. So again, kind of working those different angles a little bit. I think it's...
I like how he's bringing his arms past his chest area, lower chest. Yeah, you want the front delt to get some stretch on it, but you're going to get more stretch and better delt development on the dip, on doing dips with heavy weights, man. You just tie them up heavy. Here's the thing. I got lazy doing these. I started doing them again because I know that it'll make me better at doing the OHP, the dips, because that will increase it even more. Because you could do everything with dip. You can do like full accentuated eccentrics or overload eccentrics, or you can even do submaximal. So you could do submaximal on there, you could do supramaximal, or you could do just accentuated. So there's so many variations you could do with the dip to get more of this damage to come back, get bigger, stronger, more sarcomeres, giving you more force production. So when you go do these overhead presses, man, you're going to be a beast doing them. So I would focus on the stuff that makes you stronger first. That OHP is okay. But the best is the dips and the pull-ups, yeah.
Good combination. Then for the shoulder day is very straightforward. I just have him do 4 exercises. So really, yeah, we do 12 sets for the delts. Why? Because he doesn't have a big pick already. Like if they're benching, right? But he could also...
All right, I don't recommend these, honestly. I'm going to tell you why. It doesn't give you enough stretch on your shoulders. I don't recommend them. A lot of people do it. It's more of a concentric exercise. Honestly, it doesn't really... It goes up and it comes down. It's concentric, really. Even if you are just holding on to the weight, think about it. When you bring it up, what are you doing? Squeezing your muscles. And when you're bringing it down, you're really using your arms. The whole thing is really in your arms. When you're pulling it up, you're pulling with your arms. If your arms are bent, if your elbows are bending at the top, and then you're bringing it down again with your elbows unbending at the bottom, that means it's an arm exercise. That's why I forego this one. There's not enough stretch on the shoulder to do anything because you're using your arm to pull up and pull down. That's why I don't do these. It's a waste of time. Look at this.
325.
Watch. See? It's an arm exercise. It is not a shoulder exercise. So you're squeezing at the top concentrically, and you're relieving it by bending your arms on the way down. It's not a shoulder exercise. Unless the shoulder lifted that up, unless your shoulders lifted up without using your arms, it lifted with the shoulder and down, then okay, maybe I would say okay. But most people engage with the arms instead of having the shoulders lifted up, because it can only go, the range of motion in the shoulder doesn't go that far up. It doesn't. Lift your shoulder up. Go like this. Lift your shoulder. Pretend like you're holding that bar. Now lift your shoulder. Go like this. See that? It only goes so far. It only goes up to my belly button. It doesn't bend. It doesn't go up that high. He's really high up.
That matters. So with Gustov here, we do a strict press.
So you really want the thing to be engaged, but even though whether it's engaged or not, it doesn't matter, because when it's going down, it really isn't stretching much on the shoulder. It isn't doing much.
Him do again upright rows. Notice he's nice and strict on these, easy on the shoulders.
It's useless. I wouldn't do that. I don't recommend it.
Then we do lateral raises and then rear delt work.
These dumbbell lateral raises are absolutely useless. Again, you're in the isometric stance, isometric, concentric, isometric again. See what I mean? You're isometric, concentric. You're not eccentric, isometric, and then concentric. So there's no full range. There's just partial range, and it's all concentric. Watch.
So again,
you start from the side.
Nice balance.
And then you squeeze at the top. And when it comes down, nothing's going on there. Trust me, there's nothing going on when it comes down. Watch.
Balance forward.
See, was there a stretch when it came down? No, there's no stretch because the range of motion is short. It only went from the top to the bottom. It didn't go all the way across to the other side of his body. There you go.
The shoulder development.
Garbage.
Here. So we're hitting guys who were chasing.
I recommend you use the cable machine for that. What's he doing here? He's doing the rear delts on this. This is really a garbage machine for rear delts.
A certain look, especially depending upon their frame and structure. I'm going to double down.
Again, you're better off with the cable machines, laying on your back on the floor, pulling it, and letting the weight pull you back up. Okay, so he's doing squats, right? Let's see.
Again, guys who have a goal of I want an aesthetic physique, and they're still not real big. They don't have a lot.
I love this. I have a goal. I want an aesthetic physique. Well, if you want an aesthetic physique, then just do a bunch of light weight and do some cardio, and I don't know, just eat a lot of protein.
On their bones, we're really going to probably hammer delts hard because it's going to give them that look more quickly. Whereas in a guy who's thicker already, wide shoulders and stuff, I'm probably not going to care. So it does matter in that context. I'm not saying they won't do any delt work, of course. Just saying, not going to be as big of a deal. All right, leg day, we did 3 sets of squats. He does a high bar squat. He told me on this he had to stop, and then he didn't do the deadlifts because his upper back felt like a pop in it. Like his lat almost felt like he almost pulled a lat doing the squats. And some of that's the case of we have to work on getting him locked in tighter, getting those elbows down.
What? Okay.
So after the squats, of course,
he's not doing anything here, man. He's not doing a full eccentric. He's just fooling around. It's concentric. Watch.
Does your leg press.
He comes down. Let's see how far he comes. Right there. Right there. He comes back. It's isometric, and then he pushes off. It's concentric.
What about
Watch.
this leg press machine?
So he's just squeezing the thigh. He's not stretching it. There's no eccentric work here whatsoever. So this is not bodybuilding. Blaha says he wants to build muscles. He's not building any muscle other than sarcoplasmic muscle.
But I live with it for him, and I live with it. So we work with what we.
What happens to these guys that come into the gym for 6 weeks? PubMed, fiber hypertrophy, 6 weeks of high volume resistance training is attributed to what? Largely attributed to sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's this kid right here, bro.
We have available. What we have available. But that's
yeah, okay.
We do hamstring curls. All right,
let's see his hamstring curls.
Guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today.
No, that's not too bad. Let's see when he brings it down. It's not enough in a stretch. It's not enough stretch, but okay. I mean, yeah. You know, it's the machine kind of forces you in a stretch position because when it comes down, it's in this lengthened stretch position. And your tendency is to push it up and it'll come back down. Some machines actually give it to you. They assist you in causing causing the stretch, the damage to the fiber. All right.
Informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
Yes, it was very informative not to do the things that Blaha says. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends.